And welcome back to the Rocket League OCE Championship for the very last day of league play. My name's Jake Steric Penko, joined by Jake Edwards and David Yummy Cheeseman Lane at the end of the desk for you. We're finally here. We're finally at the last week, and this is where teams need to start defining themselves for the top four.
Well, we're going to have a full decision on who makes top four, who is not making it. We do already know that the Chiefs and Tainted are guaranteed.
Yep, and the 3 to 4 is very tightly contested today. We should have SYF and...
One of SYF and Justice against each other, and then kind of Order and Legacy fighting for just a maybe spot.
Which is a big shutout because Legacy and Order, we're expecting them to make that top
We're
four.
expecting them to be 3rd and 4th, and both of them can't make it this week. And Order, tough run this week.
They've got such a difficult run, but they put themselves in that position. They lost to Avant, they lost to SYF. Now they have to win against Tainted Minds and Legacy.
And it's just disrupted everything. Justice to win against Legacy, SYF to win against Order, and now suddenly these make the difference. These head-to-heads today as well, I think are going to be huge, especially when you're fighting for the biggest OCE prize pool that we've ever had here for Rocket League.
And we'll have decided who gets down to this bottom. $5,000 US is still a lot coming in for 5th.
And for the top teams already secured, like Chiefs and Tainted, they're still playing for their accolades. It's up to 1,000 for the top goal scorer, assists, and saves. So that's a big thing coming into this week for those already qualified teams.
Speaking of accolades, we do have Drippe and CJ kind of in that golden striker. Drippe well ahead in that one. But CJ is also number 2 in clutch playmaker, most assists behind his teammate Express.
Well, Tainted actually have the most goals per game in OCE right now. So Drippe is way ahead of everyone on Chiefs right now and really pulling through. But CJ and Express both in contention for top goal scorer and top assist.
Yeah, and in terms of the goalkeeper award, Lim out in front, Delusion, those usually go to the teams that end up getting a lot of shots against them, not doing so well. But this season we might see something different if Delusion ends up winning and getting more saves.
Yeah, it's hard to be winning and getting a lot of saves. You do have to be in defense a lot, and generally you don't really want to be there.
And look, depending on that head-to-head matchup coming back to the Chiefs, the Drippe and the CJ head-to-head, depending on that matchup today, we could see CJ take over or Drippe secure it out.
It's awesome that they're playing each other because there's nothing more frustrating competing against someone for accolades and then seeing the team they're playing against just throw and just have, just like forget how to play defense, and you're like, stop letting them have free goals.
Well, the MVP of that game, that series, Tainted Minds vs Chiefs match 2, couldn't just determine who ends up getting the MVP of the season, who ends up getting Golden Striker, Clutch Playmaker. It could decide a lot of things beyond just the 1st and 2nd seed.
Well, Tainted are in an awesome position to go 7-0. If they can take out Chiefs, they'll beat Order. Well, they might beat Order. If they beat Chiefs,
if you beat Chiefs, you'd be like, you'll probably beat Order. That makes sense.
So you can't say Drippe is number 1 for MVP right now. That's also high in contention.
But anyway,
I'd still say Drippe is number 1 for MVP.
We probably would.
Even if they lose today?
No.
Let's move a little bit away from the Chiefs. All right, Chiefs Jake. We're going to move away from the Chiefs for now. We're looking at such a big season, and I guess those upsets set those standings in motion, especially when, look, at the moment, Justice, SYF, contention for 3rd and 4th.
Well, Legacy have been really punished for losing to Justice earlier in the week. Order, plagued from that week 1 loss to Avant. They're in an awful position now, and that middle pack is really tight.
Well, they got some surprise. There was some surprise upsets. Justice and SYF upsetting Legacy and Order to get here. But we do have to remember that Legacy and Order both have 2 matches to play today, while the Justice and SYF only have 1.
And we still have to talk about the sad story of Ground Zero and Avant. Really haven't been able to get their feet off the ground this season.
Yeah.
And it looks to me like Avant will be coming 8th. Unless they can perform a miracle against Chiefs, that seems to potentially be
That's got to be your exit here, especially since Avant Gaming haven't had the season we expect. We say the same about Ground Zero. Now bringing Ghost in, but that's a different story for later. Against the Chiefs today, Avant Gaming, their exit needs to be a flashy one, as you said. At least one game is what you want to see against the Chiefs.
They've had such a disappointing series, especially considering they beat Order at the start, and everyone's like, oh, okay, maybe Avant are a big contender this season.
Well, they did qualify in last. They were the last seed. I think they have still performed reasonably well considering that. We really didn't think they'd even be here. We've seen Vive really step up in the season. We've seen Bango carry the team as well.
They took a game off Tainted Minds as well. They had some solid performances. Bango as well, scoring half their goals is pretty impressive.
I think impressive performances are going to be needed here. That brings us to our schedule and our first matchup of today. Avant taking on the Chiefs. And let's bring it back to the Chiefs, Jake. I'll give you your moment to shine right now.
Okay.
Chiefs undefeated bar 1 game against SYF Gaming. Now, they were definitely underdogs in the series. How do you see Avant going up with the same mentality against the Chiefs?
Chiefs are crazy right now. The fact that they've only dropped one game, like, even if you are the best team in the region, it is so hard not to have one off game.
Yeah. And you saw that at the beginning of last season, and I thought it would happen this season. They dropped 2 games immediately to Lovedex, who ended up coming 8th.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you have bad days, and Chiefs have really been avoiding that. So this week, though, tough competition. I think Tainted will be the team to really test their limits.
Well, again, we'll look back and reflect on how the season went and how they were last season with you. They dropped 5 games, and we talked about the OCE roster shuffle all season. Now they've only dropped 1 game coming into this final day. That's a much better record. So they've come out way better in this roster shuffle, whether it's because they're better as a team or if it's because the other teams aren't able to stand up to them. That's testing today to see.
The other teams honestly seem wounded. At least I think Tainted look a lot better. They're looking very fast and looking like they can definitely compete with Chiefs today. But you got to say, Order and Legacy really just look a bit wounded and not the strong powerhouses they were last season.
But the Chiefs, you know, they're taking charge like they always do. They're leading the charge. There's a bit of international comparison as well. Yummy Cheese Man, the Chiefs looking ahead of the ballpark,
well,
like someone we know.
They could set the same record. They could set the record for Dignitas, who are also 5 series wins, 1 game win in Europe, and obviously the previous 2-time world champions. So they are setting a mark there that for Dignitas to potentially try and beat or match. If they go 3-0 in both their matches, then that's a really big marker for Dignitas to try and get.
It's a bit of a stepping stone as well, because for Chiefs starting out with Avant Gaming, they're feeling confident going into this matchup, and especially when there's a bit of a grudge internationally for Chiefs. They're already looking back to that world stage, pointing towards Dignitas, towards Cloud9. The Chiefs had their eyes on the prize, and Avant Gaming right now need to pull something. I don't know what. I'm looking at a magician's hat, and I'm going, there's got to be 10 rabbits in there at least.
It's tough for Avant because their play style is just slow. It's similar to the Chiefs in that they're looking to get wide passes, they're looking to find each other, but they play it slower than the Chiefs, and unfortunately, that just ends up being a disadvantage.
Well, that's the thing. They're not going to be able to make Chiefs uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
They play too slow. They do some nice passes, but they're not quick enough. Chiefs are just going to read them. So I think they will have to find something new to really break this defense.
It sounds pretty cut and dry, but let's go for predictions. Let's see what Chiefs and Avant can do. Yummy Cheese Man, I'm going to start with you.
Well, as Jake was saying, you know, and Chiefs would say, the way to beat them is to keep them in defense. That's still where they're just working out a few kinks.
Yeah.
And Avant aren't going to do that, so Chiefs should take out this series.
Yeah, Chiefs will take this 3-0.
Pretty
Again,
convincing.
I don't think this will be close.
I mean, especially when you're going
right.
up against Tainted Minds, you want to see Chiefs performing at their best.
Yeah.
When the next series defines that first place and essentially who is going to be leading the charge going into RLCS, at the moment, everyone's expecting Chiefs' Tainted Minds to return to the world stage. And this game, I guess, puts the cherry on top of the cake.
Well, we'll have to see Chiefs playing well against Avant, or else we're going to be a little bit worried against Tainted. So this
They won't be happy with anything but a 3-0.
They won't be happy with anything but a confident, dominating 3-0 this series.
Let's find out, Jake. Oh, a Jake and Jake cast. I just realized we're going into game 1. Avant taking on the Chiefs, and for Avant, it is a big moment here. Already the first shot on net by Kami. And for Chiefs, a 3-0. They wouldn't be happy with anything else, as you said. And they're right in front of that goal square again. Kami takes the shot. Bango with the second save.
And you can see this game has already started exactly how we're expecting. Avant haven't been able to get it out of defense, and Chiefs are already looking dangerous.
Well, finally the attack comes through, though, Jake. On Avant, gaming a shot there, blocked away. Snarf getting his angle in right, but can they find the breakaway? Chiefs on the defense. Doesn't happen to last too long. Kami waiting for the pass. Strip A again, trying to get those accolades up and ready. Be a good way to start for the Chiefs, especially how it's going. A pop-up by Drip A off that backboard. Snarf will try and clear it away, but the intercepts coming through from Chiefs, they're just not giving room.
Bengo just went missing there in defense. I know against Chiefs, they're going to have all of them working very well in defense, or else they'll punish.
Well, they've already started off to a bit of a good thing here. Vive directing the ball away. Kami will come back in off the roof now. The Chiefs in front of that goal square. 3 members pressured up in the defense, but a big clear by Avant Gaming.
Chiefs are looking a little bit slow. Again, they're going to want a stat pad for this series, and they're not looking super quick to be able to get those 5-6-0s that they're going to be looking for.
But still in front of that goal, taking some good shots, but not really finishing it through. The execution there. As Chiefs back in front of their net, Torsos will commit up for the ball. Avant Gaming holding on for a while. But Kami coming back in around the side. We're in the matrix for a bit of this freeze frame action. Torsos comes back in, off the side now. The touch is there. Chiefs setting up, back and forth. Neo, he sees it all. But Chiefs still stuck around the midfield.
You really can't see Avant keeping pressure against Chiefs right now. They're making a few good breakaways, getting some nice clears, but then they just can't keep it there. Chiefs are very good at just calmly getting it out of their defense.
And Dribble's going to come in off the wall. Drippe having a bit of a fun time here. Bango will receive the ball eventually. And Australian Internet back at it again. Avant received the pass. The shot's on net. But Drippe definitely felt like he saw that one coming. Chiefs now in the midfield. The drop down. Torsos comes in. The intercept's there. And AV, right now, we can confirm this is probably not affecting the players. But the shot directly on net. Drippe, he'll clear it out once again. So a couple of shots there by AV, getting some room to breathe. But Chiefs, they're right back in front of that net. Torsos launching it up, trying to direct it downward. The shot's still there, set up by Drippe, but Vive clearing it away. No goal yet for the Chiefs, and this comfortability maybe not working out as expected.
This third man from Chiefs just isn't looking super comfortable to rotate in. Avant are doing a good job of just not letting easy goals in right now, and Chiefs are going to have to dig a little bit deeper.
They're still on the defense. It's a weird pass there from Torsos, almost gets stolen away. The demo onto Drippe means quite a lot as Chiefs struggle to get it out of the defense. Even with the big clear, Snuff gets a secondary touch, and Vive comes in for the commit up top. A good pass to Bango. It'll hit the roof down into the goal square, but Torsos the necessary defender there to clear it away once again.
We can see what we're talking about on the desk. This game is very slow-paced. Again, Chiefs have been known to be a little bit of a slower-paced team as well, so both teams are looking quite relaxed, and a stalemate really is the natural thing to come from this.
And it's also a pretty good thing if you're Avant Gaming right now. You're feeling confident, you're feeling okay. The pass down from Bango getting interesting with the angles. For Chiefs now, off that back wall, Kami's here for the drop, but Vive is reading it perfectly. Snarf comes back in, the angle's still good. Another shot towards net as Chiefs continue to get pressured unexpectedly.
When you're the underdog team, you're happy to keep a team scoreless for this long, because once it gets to those final times and there's only one goal separating you from a win, that's a good place to be.
Well, the Chiefs still, opportunities are there. Drippe now rolling the ball in. Finally, the first one comes through.
Drip's been going for a lot of dribbles, and it's good to see this one work out. It was a bit laggy, so I didn't see it the first time, but...
we got a perfect picture right there.
I think that was a little bit of a fake from Drippe. Good job from him.
Well, the first goal for Chiefs is what matters here at the end of the day, and it was on Drippe as well. So CJ sitting there going, oh man, this is not a good way to start, but game one, 1 minute left remaining, and the Chiefs finally break through, but it did take a while.
Again, a solo play though, so I want to see their teamwork really pick up a bit more if they want to get these big performances that they're looking for.
See if they can get the passes off, because right now Avant feel like they're passing a lot more than previous weeks. Vive out of the corner, trying to set the ball up for himself, but Chiefs will eventually dribble the ball away. 45 seconds left remaining. The ball in front of net again, set up nicely for Torsos.
Another dribble play from Drip. It's awesome to see him really punishing this slow defense from Avant and setting it up for a teammate.
42 seconds left remaining. Avant Gaming, they've been pressured, they've been peppered, and now finally the goals start sinking in, as does the pressure here in this best-of-5 series. But the Chiefs setting themselves up for tainted minds, but for Avant Gaming, trying to finish the season as strong as they can.
I think now that Chiefs have started to get a few on the board, they'll be a bit more comfortable. I'm expecting a lot faster plays now. Should be good to see.
Still, wasn't expecting Avant to get some of these shots on net.
Yeah.
There's been some good saves from Chiefs, but Avant are still pressuring as best they can. So it's got to be props to the development of this squad towards the end of the season. And we have been looking at Vive this season as that clock counts down. And we're going to see what he's capable of in this best-of-5 series.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to see Vive step up this game. They just, so close. They need to be a little bit quicker in defense to test this Chiefs defense.
Well, they've had some good shots though, Jake, so we'll look at that and try and empathize with how they're going forward. The ball will hit the ground and Chiefs take game one 2-0.
Look, they need to play a little bit faster, Avant. They're getting really nice shots. They are making Chiefs a little bit worried, but then they're not keeping that pressure and making Chiefs stay scrambled.
That was slow though from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Let me just bring it back for you for a second. For the Chiefs, you expect these 7-0s, these 8-0s, these dominant forces to roll through the game, but a slow start 2-0 against Avant is pacing it.
Look, it's hard to start really well every time, right? I know they're going to have to play a lot faster than that to keep up with Tainted Minds, and they're going to be hoping to play a bit faster than that to punish this Avant defense. But yeah, a little bit slow, not what we were expecting.
But game one of the Chiefs, like, tell me, I'm going to relate back to you, Jake, a little bit, right? This is our alone time, right?
Yeah.
And don't read into that too much. But Chiefs at the start of game number one, it feels like it is not a rendition of the rest of the gameplay of games 2, 3, and onward.
Well, let's be real. It's early in the morning. I think
Okay, I asked for your opinion.
They could be sleepy. Maybe they haven't had the time to practice as much as they want to. They will definitely warm into today. I'm not too surprised by a bit of a slowish start.
When you're going up against Avant Gaming as well and seeing those opportunities actually being made, talking about the pace of the game as well, and going up against Tainted Minds, you're right, they will have to speed things up. But against Avant, I guess you had this room to breathe for now, so you can work with it.
You still need to punish it, though. They're not seeing those opportunities where they could be a little bit quicker, have that cleaner rotation, and bring that third man in to smash in goals.
Well, let's see if Game 2 changes things here as the Chiefs now one game up already. The first shot comes immediately out of Torsos. The Chiefs wanted to start this Game 2 rolling. Looks like off this right wing, they'll get exactly that on the defense. Vive find anything. It looks like Torsos already stolen the ball away. Snarf with the light touch, the pass over to Bango. The touch intercepted. It's rolling towards net, and the defense has to commit up. Avant Gaming probably going to be shut out here for a couple of seconds. Torsos brings it back around the corner. Bango doesn't get the ideal touch, but the read will come through from Drippe.
I really like how Avant play, actually. They're very good at passing. I think if they could just execute it a little bit better, they would get those goals that they have been missing this season.
We'll see if they can get it up the field first of all. Still stuck in the defense. Torsos with the slow play. Bango doesn't win it over. Torsos comes back in, tries to pinch it off the wall. Kami waiting around the midfield. You see how aggressive the Chiefs are right now. Sticking around the center. Staff has the shot. Avant a wide. The steal from Vive is blocked by Torsos again. Bango comes on in. So there is some passing play starting to build for Avant.
I want everyone to look at when Avant do a bad clear. Chiefs just aren't as fast as they normally are right now. They're just looking a bit confused and not sure who wants to go for the ball.
See if they can take advantage of it. They've brought it back down here again, and those bad or slower clears from Avant Gaming are still going all right. Vive doesn't receive that wide pass across field. Snarf comes back in towards net. Torsos will defend the backboard well. Drippe comes back in and drops the ball down. Hits Drippe on the way down as well. A little bit unfortunate there for the Chiefs.
Avant need to really keep the ball more in Chiefs' half. They're doing good plays. This one will probably be a good play, and then they're just struggling to keep it there.
Counter clear. Avant Gaming once again back on this defense. Chiefs are coming in hot. Drippe ready to dunk it down. Vive passes it forward. Snarf not going to receive it. Bango hitting it against that wall. Torsos defends. And with these nets, with the potential to be open, Avant Gaming might just have to take some shots.
I think Chiefs will be happy, though. They are looking very organized in defense. I know they haven't been incredibly happy. They're very grumpy with how they're letting in free goals. But they're definitely looking organized this game.
I thought you were talking about it just as a general rule, but no, that's fair enough. Chiefs on the defense, still able to hold out, but this is an opportunity. Avant have popped the ball up to the roof. Vive takes the shot. Who's there? Torsos will narrowly save it away. Snarf brings it back in towards net, but the angle's not right for Avant. They've all committed up, and it's just Vive back in that defense.
They're creating great opportunities, Avant. They just need to be a little bit cleaner, take that just bit better shot, and then they'd be scoring goals.
It feels like a broken record. At League Play 5, every single season, we're saying, where was this Avant? Or not just Avant in general. I'm sorry, I'm not an Avant hater. Where was this team in general? And Avant Gaming right now, they're showing they've got a bit of life in them.
Well, it goes to show how much the team's improved throughout the season. Every season. Avant definitely looking like a better team than they did when they first started.
This is an opportunity though. Bango, not enough speed on that ball. They commit back up, and Avant, the growth. Been the big story here with the roster swaps. Snarf up for the ball. The Chiefs back where they want to be. An opportunity for Kami, but Vive with a great save. Drippe comes back in. Torsos already up for the ball. Still 0-0, 1 minute 50 remaining.
Yeah, so both these games have both been 0-0 deep into the first game. Again, a bit surprising to see from Chiefs. You do want to see them starting a little bit quicker, but 0-0 isn't too bad.
Oh, you saw Kami almost dribble the ball in. An opportunity. That one was missed there by Torsos, and Drippe goes wide. Again, being the underdog team, Jake, you said it yourself, is not bad at a 0-0.
Look, they'll be happy. Again, 1 goal and they win the game. That's massive. That's hard to do against top teams.
Chiefs right now, minute 15 remaining. Drippe had another opportunity there. Torsos comes in, tries to get through that defense, but Bango punches it back up. It's Kami again. Still going to go forward, but Vive, a good read on the ball. Torsos still here, angling towards net. Bango with the save. Drippe comes back in again.
Avant are really looking really good in defense right now. They're really shutting down Chiefs before they do any threatening plays. I'm really impressed.
Oh, Bango trying to turn that defense into a good offense. Drippe's here, the shot on net, blocked by Vive, but 2 members there in the net. Torsos bounce it down. It goes wide once more, and the Chiefs without a goal. Just quickly turns into a counterattack from Avant. Bango brings it back in, but Kami with the save.
This is dangerous. Oh, again, you want to see Avant just keeping that up. Oh, good punish from Torso, quick as ever.
1-0. The Chiefs find that punish. They find that counterattack, and Chiefs using the momentum of that ball to find their first goal.
That was an excellent chance from Avant, though. They're going to be devastated that they didn't score there.
There are so many good moments from Avant, especially against the Chiefs here. Yes, the Chiefs may not be in their form that we talk about week in, week out, but for Avant Gaming, the improvement here is massive. And even though it could be a game number 2 win here for the Chiefs, Avant Gaming have opportunities to play with in game 3.
It is sad to see this kind of performance out of Avant not be against those middling teams so that they could be in contention today for the top 4.
Yeah, 15 seconds, see what they can do for the rest of the game. But Drippay's already here, trying to pad those stats once again off the backboard. He'll find another.
Drip just getting goal after goal. He's been averaging easily a goal a game every single series this league play, and it looks like he's not slowing down this time.
He is not. 2-0 again for the Chiefs. It looks like we're seeing a bit of a trend here, Jakey boy. 11 seconds left, and Chiefs, they have done exactly what they need to do at this point to secure game number 2.
Again, 2-0. Chiefs will be happy with this, but not as dominant as they'd like, not as good of a warm-up as they're going to need against the faster Tainted Minds coming in later.
Definitely not. It's still a win, though, and especially when you're going up against Tainted Minds later, I guess at the very least you're just hoping for that win. Well, you probably know by this stage that you are capable of a win against Avant Gaming, but it's going to get you forward into that next series, as you said.
I want to say, though, when one team is playing slow, it is very easy to match that pace. I think Chiefs are feeling very comfortable in this slow play style. They're not feeling the need to play very aggressive and risky against a team they know they can beat. But again, they're not getting those stats to really push them well over the line for the accolades.
Drippay's still getting 1 goal a game.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
You know, that's fine.
True. That's true.
Probably like, it's all right, I might score more in Tainted Minds.
I'm sure Drip and Kami were both 3rd coming in for assists. So I think they were hoping to climb the ladder, but they're not having a good one this season to do that.
No, they're not. This series especially, though, just to bring it back, is one that I think Chiefs, like you said, might not be as happy with, but it's still pushing them forward into the next series. It's still showing against Avant Gaming. They're not willing to drop a game.
Yeah.
They're still looking pretty clean.
Well, Chiefs strive for perfection, right? That's what makes them the best. They are not happy unless they are performing at the absolute best they possibly can be. And they're going to want more out of this. They're going to want an absolute blowout for this 3rd game. Go, yep, I'm pumped up, I'm ready.
Yeah, but for Avant Gaming, they might not even allow this blowout. Because although
Avant are looking good. Don't get me wrong. Avant are looking solid.
They look very good. I think they look the best that we've seen them so far.
They just need to finish their chances, though. They still haven't scored. Like, we're saying how good they are, but you need to score goals to win games.
They do, but they're taking risk here. Bango, the first shot. Jake, you asked, and they showed you.
Yeah, a good shot, and Chiefs finally get punished for giving these half chances. Bango clinical as always. Good to see.
So Avant finally break free, Jake.
Yeah.
5 seconds into the game, though. You have 4:55 remaining. They need to hold strong. We need to see more opportunities opened up.
I hope this builds their confidence as well, because again, they've been creating plenty of opportunities. They just haven't been able to score them.
We've had another shot on net already. 5 coming in off the roof, and it'll be Avant Gaming who are in the driver's seat right now. Snuff missing the ball.
Interesting challenge.
Yep. Ball will go all the way over the top, and Avant Gaming on the defense once again. The Chiefs on that attack, right where they want to be. It's Drippay now off the wall. You know exactly where he's going to take this ball. The Chiefs do it all the time, and Drippay comes in. The second touch almost finishes it off. You hate to see it.
Drip's looking so threatening every time he gets a wall play. Oh, and Torse with a double tap. Such a solo gamer, Torse. Scores these all the time. Late flip to get middle. That is awesome mechanics from Torse, showing how he's honestly the best player off the wall and roof in OCE.
You'd expect exactly that from Torsos. And 1-1, suddenly the Chiefs equalize within 30 seconds. The danger of letting your guard down against this team is here. Avant may have found another piece, but unfortunately they're back on that defense once again with Chiefs equalizing now. Things are getting serious.
Well, like I was saying, you'd think Avant would have gotten excited over that goal, but excitement leads to a bit messier defense, so we're going to want to see them keep that clean gameplay, but Torse smashing it from the midfield. Good infield from Kami.
And the Chiefs are ahead once again, Jake. Kami with a great infield pass, as you said. Torsos starting to take over here, but it's going to be hard to take over Drippay at this rate.
Look, Torse has had a quiet first 2 games. I think he's waking up from the early start this morning and ready to go.
That's not that early. It's daylight savings time. Well, you didn't really get an hour. You kind of lost one, but
11 a.m. is early. Come on.
It is still pretty early. Anything before 12 is pretty early. At this rate, though, for Chiefs, the early times not really concerning them. It's just Avant Gaming who are trying to break through that defense. Right now, 2 members commit up for that ball. Kami has a shot on net. Bango narrowly saves it away. Again, Chiefs, no, wake-up time is too early right now with Avant Gaming 1 goal behind.
Avant need to reset their defense. Again, they were dealing with Chiefs' pressure so well, and it doesn't look like Chiefs have changed too much, but Avant really are starting to panic and let these opportunities in.
Passes are coming out. Chiefs missing that one there. That was Drippe as Kami gets another infield, but this time he'll come it off the wall. It'll be Torsos. 5 will fund save. Bango up for the ball once again. Drippe just comes through, intercepts the ball. Puts them right back on the defense, shutting them down. You see Chiefs getting a little bit faster here, and Avant Gaming struggling to get more of that possession.
Tors is definitely woken up now. He's being very quick to every ball. I'm expecting a few more goals from him.
Well, sent up. Back over to Drippe. Drop down. There's 5. Kami. All the way across the field. Avant Gaming, can they find this ball? Snuff seems to have found a pretty good setup there. Kami doesn't really clear it away. Torsos will help, but Bango comes in. Intercepts once again. That's a perfect touchdown. But Kami, unfortunately, playing a totally different game. 2 minutes 30 remain. Pass there and again for Drippe, directly on net. Clean passes once again out of the Chiefs.
This is what you want to see. Chiefs really like to rely on these fast infields here. They haven't been working super well. You haven't seen them the first 2 games, but they've really remembered what makes them the goal-scoring machines they are.
And Drippe once again adds 1 to the list. Chiefs add another to the list, and it could just be game 3 that stamps it down and says this is it. For Avant Gaming, some good contention here, but they are running out of time. And the way Chiefs are looking right now, it feels like everything is coming to a crushing halt. Yeah. As AV looking down the barrel of 8th position here. And it's been a rough season for them.
If they just played like this earlier in the season, it would have been a lot better. Their defense wasn't as clean at the start. Their passes weren't as clean at the start. And Avant, it's sad to see, but it's good coming into next season.
It definitely is. Talking about that growth, and with the roster shuffle, nothing was really secure in our top 8 for this season. With 2 minutes left remaining, Avant trying to come out with more than a bang. Bango setting that one up. It'll almost go in the top of the bins, but Drippe's just turned it into a counter-attack. And 4-1 seems to be the score.
Another dribble goal from Drip. He's playing really calmly, knowing when he can take his time, knowing when he can punish these defenses for not expecting that solo play.
Great first touch as well.
Awesome first touch.
Chiefs, 148, they know the time, they know it well, and this looks to be the most dominant game. You said, you know, they're just waking up, Jake, and now I believe you. 4-1, and the Chiefs do not look like they're going back to sleep anytime soon.
Well, like we said, they wouldn't have been happy with those first 2 games. They're like, we know we can do better than this, and finally, they're really showing it.
AV struggling to get back in front of that net. Snarf trying to make that a reality once again, but Bango, as he gets the demo onto Drippe, doesn't seem to matter. Torso's just taking the ball himself. Kami comes back up. The cheat away. They just keep taking the ball away from Avant Gaming.
You can see Chiefs now, they're just in Avant's face. Avant were looking calm before. Chiefs aren't letting them be calm now.
If they commit up, Torsos, an opportunity maybe arising here. Kami clear the ball out. Drippe gets a second touch. And that clear, absolutely massive for Kami. The shot blocked away by Vive once again, but Chiefs are done. Off that backboard, Kami comes back in. Torsos here, doesn't need the touch. Drippe hanging back. Is this where Avant step in? Bango's there for the shot, but Drippe just says no.
These pass plays, they've been good all season from Avant, but they just need to be a little bit quicker. They just give the defense the time to be ready for them, and especially Chiefs, they're not going to be surprised by that.
They are not. Another save bites the dust, and another game looks like could just be what Avant are going up against. A 3-0 in the cards right here. Chiefs putting the final moments onto the back of that net. A quick bump there by Drippe means nothing, but it does mean the ball stays down here for a little longer.
And it looked like Avant are being a little bit defeated. They really needed to pick up the pace to get those 3 goals, but against Chiefs, it is hard to see you scoring 3 goals in a minute.
Nothing certain against the Chiefs, and especially in this game, we expected Avant to be shut out more than they have been, but they've put up a valiant effort here. I've got to say that Avant, Games 1, Game 2 especially, we saw a new team, a grown team, and against the Chiefs to put up this effort is a great way to finish your season, and Chiefs taking the 3-0 is a great way to start their day.
Avant are going to be feeling okay. I think, again, the improvement is good. Vive as an individual has grown so much over the season. I wanted to see more from Snarf, though, through the whole season. He's looked very... He doesn't score many goals. He's not super involved in the play. I was hoping Snarf could be that X factor that could have brought Avant a bit further into this competition.
I think that is what happens when you retire for 6 months and then come back and you're like, oh, I haven't played. I haven't even had a computer for that time. But it was a very convincing win by Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think it was exactly what we kind of expected.
Yeah.
And you were sort of mentioning during that you only have to play faster than your competition, and Chiefs looked like they were kind of slow for the first 2 games, and that's just because they were just being slightly faster. I think up against Tainted Minds, you'll really see them pick up the pace.
Okay, so that change of pace we'll keep a note of, but I wanted to touch on Avant because that was kind of their legacy leaving this season. That was their very last game against the Chiefs. The way you kind of don't want to end it, but I think Avant showed signs of improvement in game 1 and 2.
It's just the problem is they just flub the execution every single time.
Which is the issue.
I think
they get good chances.
Some really good example. It's just I'm going to be crushing on Vive right now, but game 2, they had 45 seconds of pressure. They actually looked like they were going to score a goal. Vive goes up for an aerial close to the roof, completely misses it. Uses all of his boost. Now Chiefs, who are boostless at this point, have the free clear. That ends the attack. Just because of that one spot.
Well, that's what I was saying. Avant weren't able to keep pressure. 45 seconds isn't that long of pressure, but it was amazing to see Avant manage that against Chiefs.
45 seconds is quite a while. I think that's definitely enough to score a goal,
oh,
especially considering that was successful pressure where they were draining the resources, they were taking boost. That's what really mattered, because Chiefs are often great at being pressured and not caring and having the boost.
It's so important because for Avant, like going up against the Chiefs, I expected, even though it was a 3-0, I think games 1 and 2 showed us what Avant could be in the future. Like you said, just tapping up that execution. And yes, you can be more brutal if you want, but for me, I'm going to be the nice guy here today. I think for Vive, for his first season, we saw what he's capable of, especially in the first couple of weeks and maybe even today. But
it was depending on who his opponents were.
Of course.
I think he really struggled when he was playing up against teams, and he's got plenty of time now to work on that. Chiefs now looking at the next match, and this was sort of a low-scoring affair. Funnily enough, I think against Tainted Minds, who are very aggressive.
Oh, it's going to be
It is going to be a slugfest with lots of goals between both the teams. So Drippe, even though he only got 1.33 goals per game, bringing his average down, I think he might be able to bring it back up that series.
But against CJ, Drippe is going to have to bring his all. Against Tainted Minds, the Chiefs will find themselves. We're going to have a short break, and then coming up next, one of the biggest games of the OCE Championship.